Oh my god, Caleb, I'm so excited to start our first private lesson.
Well, I'm excited to start teaching you, Drece.
Let me just get this set up.
I think we're gonna have to back up here a second. Here, let's cover some fundamentals about how to assemble the clarinet before we get started here, because it looks like this might be your first time doing it. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is take the reed out of the case. You're going to put it in your mouth, put the narrow end in, so you can start moistening. Oh, hold on a second there. That is a choking hazard. Just pull it out of your mouth slightly so you don't die. Much better. So as we're assembling the rest of the clarinet, you can leave that in your mouth for a little while. It'll start moistening up the reed. So our next step is going to be to assemble the bell and the lower joint. So with your dominant hand, go ahead and grab the cone-shaped piece. That's the bell. And as well, you can grab the lower joint. It's the wider cylindrical piece. It's only got cork on one end. So now gently twist the cork into the bell with your fingers over the top of the keys. All right, so now holding this assembled set of components in your dominant hand, with your non-dominant hand, grab the upper joint. It's the other cylindrical component. And so on this upper joint, we have a little piece called the bridge bar. You can find it right here next to the cork. And if you press this key down here, this lowest key, that will move the bridge bar out of the way for when we assemble it with the lower joint. So now gently twist those together. The bridge bar is going to line up with this piece of metal right here. Excellent work, Drece. All right, so next up, now that we've assembled the main body of the clarinet, we're going to deal with the mouthpiece and barrel. So you can just gently put that down in your clarinet case and grab the barrel, which is the small cylinder, and the mouthpiece. So right now your mouthpiece has the cap on the top. We're going to want to remove that, as well as that metal component called the ligature. We're going to use that later, so just set that aside. So just like before, just gently twist those two together. All right, perfect. Okay, so this reed is going to be extraordinarily moist at this point, so I think it's time to remove it. We're going to assemble it with the rest of the mouthpiece. So on the opposite side of the reed from what you're holding up, there's a flat side. And we're going to just put this directly on top of the mouthpiece. Line the top up just like that. All right, so now that we've got our reed lined up with the mouthpiece, we're going to grab that metal component called the ligature. And you can just gently slide it over the top. Yeah, you should be tightening the screws with your right hand, just to the point of no longer wanting to tighten any further. You don't want to clamp it down. And so as long as it's firmly secured, we are all set with that mouthpiece. And finally, now that we have this assembled lower component and our barrel and mouthpiece, we can put the whole thing together. So you just use a gentle twisting motion to put those two on. We're going to want to make sure that along the back, we have the thumb rest lined up with this key right here, lined up with the middle of the reed. So it looks like we're just a little bit off center, so you can fix that by just twisting it gently to the left. All right, it looks like we're good to go. Congratulations, Drece. You have now assembled your first clarinet.
Okay, no.